Hello, my name is Danny Panter. I am one of the associate pastors on staff at First Baptist Church San Antonio, and I have the privilege of overseeing our marriage ministry that we call Marriage Strong. We have a number of things that we provide couples here and hopefully other couples in the city that encourage and equip them to be all that God has called them to be in their marriage. But I want to talk about one of the things that we do called Marriage in 3D. Marriage in 3D is a date night event that we provide 3 times a year. As a team, you may decide to do it more often, but we've settled on 3 times a year as a great kind of interval in which our church family can expect an evening where they can be encouraged and equipped in their marriage and have a lot of fun doing it. Marriage in 3D stands for date, dessert, and devotion. Now, Marriage in 3D has actually been around a long time in the First Baptist family, but Marriage in 3D is more of a brand now. We don't just have a small devotion anymore. It's kind of exploded into a lot of different things that we do, some bigger things that we do. But nonetheless, this is a wonderful date night event that we provide for our church family and other couples in the city. Our main goal, and I think I've already mentioned this, is fun and meaningful conversations revolving around marriage. We want couples to come and be able to relax and have fun together. Maybe some of these couples are laughing and having fun for the first time in a long time. So we want to make sure that we invest in planning and energy to make it a fun evening. But we also want it to be meaningful. We want them to be able to leave thinking about next steps in their own marriage, things that would sharpen them, help them, equip them, that they can apply into their own marriage. So hopefully they're having a brand new conversation as they leave. Wow, that was a lot of fun. And man, did you really hear them talk about negotiating and or working through conflict together? That's really valuable. So hopefully those conversations, meaningful conversations, can happen at Marriage in 3D. What I'd like to do is kind of walk you through what an evening of Marriage in 3D looks like, and then spend some time talking about how we put it together and some things that you may want to consider as you host your own date night event. The first thing I want you to consider is keep it simple. And we're still learning how to do this. We are trying to improve every time we do a date night event. We don't have it all together, but try to keep it really simple. As I said, we do this 3 times a year, and you may decide to do it another time. But typically our date night event, Marriage in 3D, lands on a Friday evening, and it begins at 6 o'clock, where couples who have kiddos drop their kids off for childcare at the church. Right now we charge $5 per child. You might be able to do this at no cost. Or you might have to actually pay a service to come in and help. It just all depends, but right now we charge $5 per child. And so after they drop their kiddos off, plan is they go have a date, spend some time together from about 6 to 7:30. We don't tell them where to go. They go wherever they want to go as long as they go out on a date together. And while they're out on the date, we are finalizing setup in the space. The space that we meet in is called 4th Street Crossing. It's a wonderful venue, but we want to make sure the space is ready for the couples upon their return. Some of the things that we consider when we set up the room, we use tables, obviously, and on those tables we have tablecloths with centerpieces. Sometimes it's beautiful, simple, beautiful flowers that people end up taking home at the end of the evening. Sometimes it's a balloon arrangement. Those are a lot of fun. But we want every table to have a fun, beautiful, warm, romantic evening, even centerpiece. And also, you want to think about music that you have playing in the room. You want energetic, fun music, or it can be more romantic kind of music. I think we're leaning towards more the energetic kind of music. It just kind of sets the tone for the evening. Hey, we're going to have a lot of fun together, but you want to be selective on the music that you use. And we've used Christian music, and we've used some old school secular music as well. You really can decide. We've used Michael Bublé. We've done all kinds of things, but you want to give some thought to the music that's playing in the room as people are entering. You want to think about lighting. Do you want just the full-on lights in the room? We like to set the mood again. We really you want this to be experienced, so you want to decide what kind of lighting that you want. We don't want the room just fully lit up. So we want to offer some mood lighting as folks enter the room and for the duration. We provide dessert. We put a lot of energy in deciding what do we want to provide. We actually have someone in our church family that provides dessert about once or twice a year in our Marriage in 3Ds, and then we usually go outside and actually purchase a dessert for one of those Marriage in 3Ds. If you have someone in your church family that does it, that's great. But we always put a high premium on presentation. We want couples to feel like we've really treated them. And so presentation is important. Luckily, we have someone in our church family that every time she puts a dessert together, whether that's creme brulee or little pies, I mean, she's done some awesome stuff, but she puts it together. It looks really nice. People feel like they are really experiencing a really nice evening. So we just don't throw cookies on the table, although we have used cookies, but again, we usually put a high premium on presentation. We provide coffee for the evening, tea oftentimes, as well as water for the evening. You want to think about presentation. We are in a venue that provides us really nice screens that we use ProPresenter to present slides. Those slides include not just what we're doing for the evening, but our branding, upcoming events, other announcements, sponsors if we have a sponsor for the evening. Sometimes we can do fun, informational, trivia kind of stuff on the front end, but you want to consider what you'll be and how you'll be using your presentation technology. But that also will set your evening apart as a fun, energetic evening. As people walk in, they have things on the screens. We typically also have a backdrop where people can take pictures so that they can record their evening together, a selfie, and then we invite people to post that immediately online. You can do a lot of fun things with that. We've had a backdrop where people can also wear funny glasses and hats and stuff like that, just to be funny and have a lot of fun. But those are some of the main elements that we consider when we're thinking about the room, the space that we're going to be in. You want it to be fun and energetic. You want it to be an experience. One of the things that we've done recently that was a huge hit is that we actually had a churros food truck, and people loved it. And we had never done that before. It cost a little more money to do that, which is why we were charging people more than we had in the past. But it was a really great hit. You really can do a lot of different things. And so consider all those ideas. People actually start showing up after their date, usually around 7:30, between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. They get their coffee, and then at this point, we really utilize our team. And so we have a team, Marriage Strong team, which I'll talk more about in a moment. But we have them as greeters on the outside. We have them greeters on the inside. We have folks who are actually helping people with name tags. And we do door prizes. So they have to fill out little information for a door prize, one little card per couple. Then we select one of those couples at the end of the evening, or several couples at the end of the evening with the door prizes for the door prizes that we have. And so they sign in, get name tags, greet, finish off registration, and at 8 o'clock, we assign one of our lead couples to lead all the other couples in a fun, energetic activity. This could be an upfront game, or it could be a table activity. You could have people getting up and moving around the room. But the point is in the first 10 minutes, we really want people to interact, laugh, and have a lot of fun. Those first 10 minutes, 15 minutes are really crucial, especially if you have couples who are there for the first time. The husbands are really uncertain if they're really excited about being there. They don't know what's going to happen. Really set the tone from the beginning. Hey, this is going to be a fun evening. At around 8:15, They hand it off to Anna, my wife, and we intro the rest of the evening. We forecast, hey, this is what Marriage in 3D is, and this is what you can expect for the rest of the evening. And then we introduce the main feature of the evening. Now, there's a lot of different things that you can choose for your main feature, and we've done a lot of different things. We've had a comedian come in. We've had musicians. We've had just a game night where we just did a lot of different activities around the tables and had a lot of fun. We've had speakers come in to target a specific topic, which has been great. These speakers, sometimes they're national speakers, sometimes they're local speakers. High premium on the local speakers. They're usually awesome, especially in San Antonio. We have great resources and great local experts that can join you in your date night event. We really also have also taken opportunity to feature marriage stories. We'll invite couples to come in and talk about their marriage, especially if they have a story which we think might resonate with a lot of our couples and will be a source of encouragement for them. And so we do games, we've done a comedian, couple story, we've done musicians, but you get to choose how you fill that spot. But that main feature, that speaker, will have about 45 minutes. If it's a speaker in particular, we love to have Q&A. Folks love Q&A, and we've done this a lot of different ways. We've done Q&A where people fill out cards at the table, and then I have leaders go around and pick those up, and then I decide which of those questions to ask. Or you can do this electronically. On their device, they can submit a question via an online survey tool. We've used a lot of different ones. There's a lot of great ones out there. A lot of them, you actually have to pay for a subscription up to a certain amount or a certain amount of engagement. But if you do something like 100 and less engagements, it's free. So look into that and choose one that really best suits your needs. And so the main speaker, the main feature, has about 45 minutes. We end with Q&A. After the main speaker is done, then they hand it back off to me and Anna, and then we close the evening. We obviously thank our guests. We thank the couples for trusting us for their date night event. And then we do door prizes, and we usually have someone come up and draw names out of a basket for us. And for door prizes, recently we've started asking local businesses to provide the door prize, whether that's a gift certificate, a $30 gift card, or an experience. That's been very successful for us, and we usually are able to build relationships with some of these area businesses where they do that more frequently. So that's great. You may want to check in to that. And then lastly, and this is so important, you always want to provide next steps for couples. You want to talk about when is the next date night event, or when is the next marriage equipping opportunity. You might have ongoing programming for marriages. You might have a young marrieds class, whatever. You want to take that opportunity to say, hey, here's what's coming next. And you may have already produced a little flyer that you've put on the table where people can have access to that and learn about the other things that you offer in your church family for marriages. Well, that's how the evening goes. You might have more questions, but that's just kind of a snapshot of how our evening goes. But how do we prepare for that? Well, there are a lot of things to consider in preparing for a marriage in 3D, but really, again, we want to keep it simple. The first thing that I would encourage you to do is really lean on a team. If you don't already have, find other couples, like-minded couples who are passionate about equipping and encouraging couples in your church family and beyond. And that team will be a source of ideas, planning and implementation, and taking on those important roles from setup to cleanup. You really, really need a team. Things you also want to consider is registration. How would those couples register? Our couples register through our church's online database service, which provides online forms that couples can register through and make payment directly to. This gives us a snapshot of how many people are actually coming to the event. It doesn't mean couples can't just show up to the event that evening, But for childcare, you'll need to have an idea of a cutoff, a cutoff time for couples to register so you can be prepared for childcare. You're also going to want to consider costs. It's only been recently in the past year that we have actually included a cost for marriage in 3D. It's $20 a couple. That's helped subsidize some of the costs for the event. But you might have a budget that can take care of that, or the event is really so low cost that you don't have to charge couples at all. But you want to be able to be clear about that and make a decision as a team how that works. For childcare, it's $5 a child. In the past, we've done like a $20 cap per family. But again, you'll have to decide on how you'll do that based upon your needs. That's registration, but then you also want to consider marketing and planning for the event. Typically, we begin planning our event in terms of marketing and how we communicate this about 8 weeks out for the event. Might be different for you, but 8 weeks works well for us. It gives us an opportunity to talk with our media team or people responsible for developing graphics and posters. Hey, this is our vision for the event. This is what we're doing. And then they take that information and generate a poster and flyers and social media graphics that we can use to market online. But that's done about 8 weeks out. Social media is obviously very, very important. That's one of the main places that we have the opportunity to really communicate with people, not just with our church family, but obviously beyond. We really want to make this available to the city. So we really put a high premium on communicating on social media. And when we post on social media, we post a link or a QR code where people can register straight from that social media spot. Well, I know that was a lot, and hopefully some of it was coherent. But I would love to help you if I can. Again, my name is Danny, and would love to interact with you. So if you have any questions at all, please ask for my contact info from Sammy, and they certainly would give it to you. You can send me an email, give me a call, and I'd love to help you think through your own date night event. Again, hopefully this was helpful. God bless. Thanks a lot.